Alright, welcome to part 3 of our Apple AirTags. So what we've gone and done in this video is we've taken an AirTag, we've put it in the mail with a tracking number for Australia Post, we've chosen a destination to send it to, and we've sent it off, and we've managed to track the item for most of its journey. Now my apologies, this video is a bit hard to follow because it's really just visual stills of the tracking data and where we saw it, but it definitely tells a story. So did we get to the destination? We have to find out. And what did we find along the way, and how good was this data? Well, it was actually pretty good. You'd be interested to see some of the places we got data and how regularly we got data. It's taken a few weeks to get all this together, so hopefully enjoy the video. Alright, so yeah, we thought we'd take a look at the Telstra coverage map here, and you can see there's quite a lot of coverage around the outsides and the right and the left, but not really a whole lot in the middle. We could have set something up to Darwin or maybe to Exmouth, but we thought we'd try something a little bit more iconic, maybe in the middle. So we looked up a couple of post offices and found one here at Ulara, I think is how you say it, down in the Northern Territory, right outside of Old Uluru. As you can see, we zoom out, pretty much in the middle of Australia, as most people know. And so yeah, the plan is going to be that if we can put it into the post and get it flown over there and see how close we can get it to land at Uluru. So off I went. Here we are. Look at me. Ooh, in the car, got the package all packed, ready to go. Do a really good job packaging. Out the car, here we go. Ooh, on my way up to the post office box. Now here we use the red post office box. I thought we'd make it a bit more of a challenge for Australia Post, so we didn't put in a yellow one, we put it straight in a red one. Oops, off it goes. Now it seemed to sit here all morning. Now we knew it was going to open up about 9:30 at the post office. So we could see that the package just sort of sat at the front. We're getting regular updates from people walking past. And for those of you that don't know how to read the screen here, the top left is the time. On this one it's just after 9 o'clock local time. And then you can see a list of things that we have. So I've got my keys, I've got the tag, I called it Uluru, thinking we'd maybe be mailing it to Uluru. And then I've got my umbrella here. So as we look at the picture, you see the little aeroplane in the middle. That is the tag, gave it the aeroplane tag being the traveller. So we got a bit of telemetry all morning on this one, and then bang, as soon as the post office opened, within about half an hour, they'd scan the item in. Got a text message from Australia Post saying the delivery's on the way, and I checked the Australia Post app, and it had updated the delivery. So no, although I didn't put it in a red post office box, it goes straight into the post office and they scan it up. So the tag sat around most of the day at the post office, and then at about 20 to 8 in the evening, it appeared at North Geelong, some sort of distribution centre, and then not long after it left, and it arrived at a sorting facility in Tullamarine near the Melbourne airport. So I googled the address, had a look, and yeah, it's an Australia Post facility, as we can see here. One way is the airport, the other way is just more warehousing, and we zoom in on the site. It's a Australia Post and Star Trek Express, so that makes some sense. So we mailed with Australia Post. And we checked the update of the tracking from Australia Post. It hasn't been scanned in, it's still sitting there as in transit. So yeah, so the time seemed to pass, and this package just bounced around this facility all day really for the next, I think, 2 days potentially. Just as you can see on the data here, it just sort of pinned around different spots in the warehouse, and I don't know if that's the device trying to just locate itself, or is it actually that accurate, like it's moving from one warehouse all the way up to the back of this other warehouse and then back again. Kind of not really sure what goes on there, but yeah, just sort of did that for at least 2 days, I think, pretty consistently. So yeah, the next morning at about 20 past 7, we're still at the warehouse. Not much was happening, and shortly after, about 9 o'clock, a couple of hours later, it's moved to the terminal. So sort of at 9 to 9:30, we're watching it bounce around the terminal. Clearly looks like they're getting ready to put it on an airplane. Which one? Not too sure. And I figured we wouldn't see it for a few hours, so you can sort of see it's just bumping around. There it is actually on a terminal. And so it's the actual aeroplane. And then it looks like it gets bumped out to the tarmac, and he's going to taxi off. Now, it's a bit weird. We don't see it for a couple of hours, and then it just appears in the middle of nowhere, pretty much in the middle of Australia. It doesn't give us much data, it just tells us its location, can't tell us the height or anything like that, but it just continues to cruise on up towards Alice Springs, which would make sense, until we get some telemetry at about 2:45 local time to me, that it's on the runway at Alice Springs, and then we continue to get some telemetry at the runway, around the runway, and then all the way sort of in the terminal. Gives you a bit of a broad area, and then it seems to hone right into actually one of the airwalks where the planes dock. Now I was a little bit intrigued here, so I jumped on Flight Radar 24 and had a look at the day's flights. As you can see here highlighted, one definitely matched from Melbourne to Alice Springs. So we went and hit the play button and looked up the flight data. We could see the plane, the Boeing. It was going to be in the Boeing. Looks like a Qantas flight, and it was Melbourne to Alice Springs. So we can just click on the little plane here and fast track the flight. You can see it move along, and I'm kind of thinking it's probably got some telemetry about here over this little dry lake or lake. I'm not really sure what's out there. Just change the terrain up a bit so I can sort of make a bit more sense of it. And yeah, you can see the plane, the flight, its route, and we zoom in. I'll probably try and match up one of those photos that we had from the AirTag to the terrain. It kind of looks like it's down here with that little green swirl. Plane's back there. Just change the terrain up again, see if I can match it up. It was like a water or something down here that I could see. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for down there. So we just can zoom into this looks like probably a river, branch of the river, and I'll just pull up the so I can find the plane. I'll just pull up the photo from the tracking data. You can see, yeah, it's got the same branch here. So clearly somebody was on the plane without they hadn't turned their phone off. For some reason, the phone got reception in that area, and it managed to pin back a location to us. Didn't tell us any height, but it sort of says the plane's running at about 40,000 feet, and so I don't really know any mobile phone aerials that high, but something's going on there. But yeah, they got a bit of reception and pinned back the location, which is kind of interesting because presumably the AirTag's in the cargo hold of the plane, and it's just getting reception up to the people above. I'm not going to bore you with the whole flight radar here. We can just cut across to the landing. Now, once again, you can see the landing here onto the runway, and we've got the data that the AirTag shot us out. That's the runway there, and then it pushes into this bay here, and the AirTag clearly sort of shows that is where it is. Now, it bumped around there for a bit until it moved started heading to town. Looked like it was some sort of freight yard, and then it went into Alice Springs, into the main street. So we did a bit of a Google Map search, And lo and behold, it's Australia Post at Alice Springs. It's on the main street, one of the streets. And yeah, here it is, Alice Springs, Australia Post. Now our package spent a bit of time here. It's like sort of just, yeah, sat here, and I must see for the data, 3:30, and then 6:50 it's moved off to a depot from one of the local transport companies, and it continues to sit there. It sits here a lot, probably over the and we checked the tracking data on Australia Post, and once again it's still saying that it's in transit. So thinking at home, oh yeah, probably thinking at home you've put the package in the mail, and it's still saying in transit. So where is it? Is it back where you mailed it, or is it midway through? They don't seem to update anything the moment it goes in at the post office. Now a bit of time passes, and lo and behold, it's on the road. It's down on the Stewart Highway, and then it gets to, look at that, Uluru. Well, close to. It's at the LPO, the local post office. Is down here, and look at that. We get the data from Australia Post. As soon as they get their shipment, they've scanned it in and updated it to we are ready for collection, which is kind of a bit of a shame. They don't scan it as it goes, but I guess they're going to have a way to slow the mail down by doing that, having to unpack and pack things. So I guess they just put it in the right box and shoot it off. Now, we didn't really get it close to Uluru, so what I ended up doing is putting in a redirection to get the item redirected. A lot of the people at Australia Post told me it cost me $4 to $5 to send it anywhere I wanted to, so we redirected it up north, and lo and behold, did a full lap of Uluru, as you can see here, and sits outside in one of the towns here for a bit, and then zooms on off back up to the post office. So we did get it there. We actually got to do a full lap of Uluru, which is pretty cool. The final verdict on the Apple AirTags. Are they worth it? You know what? I didn't think they were much chop at the start. I really thought they were kind of gimmicky and limited in what they could do, especially with the function where if somebody is not with their AirTag, it's with somebody else, so you're tracking something that's stolen, that this could potentially give an alert to the person that's stolen the equipment. Now, we found that in the travels, the tag didn't really get discovered. It just kept sending out data along the way. We did a few tests in our own vehicles and that. It took quite some time for it actually to give an alert to the person that it was following. So yeah, would I definitely invest in a few of these? Absolutely. Probably really worth putting one of these in your caravan. I know we've put some stuff out before saying not really worth it, but looking at all the data and how powerful this product is, and for the money you spend, until you can really get yourself set up with a proper 3G, 4G, 5G tracking device that is fixed into your vehicle, running off its batteries with its own power and cut-off switches and all that kind of stuff, if that's the way you want to go, this is a really cost-effective alternative. I've got a few already put in personal products like car keys and the wallet and that kind of stuff. And with kids, I've definitely had to use the feature to find my car keys, because my daughter decides that they're her car keys and she puts them into her little car, and we never find things ever again. It takes weeks. So jumped on the app, found my keys in no time, was out the door. Definitely worth looking at, especially with a few of the accessories like the pet collars, key rings. But yeah, if you're going to be putting something like this for anti-theft, don't just hang it onto your device so everyone can see it. Really try and hide it, try and stash it out the way. It's really going to deter people. When they first grab it, they're going to see the tag there, it's going to throw it away and take your computer, take whatever they want. If you can stash it away, it's going to take a lot longer to find. And with the audible sound on it, it's loud enough, it will attract you, but it will take some time. It's a noisy environment. And yeah, might give you a chance to recover some of your possessions like caravan, cars, keys, computers, track animals, that kind of stuff. But it's definitely not an alternative to your classic fixed GPS tracking devices that you would put with a SIM card and all that kind of stuff. So until next time, enjoy doing the product review on this. I reckon you go grab yourself one. Give us a like, guys. Give us a subscribe. Chuck any questions down in the comments below. Happy to answer them. Until next time.